In Ottawa County's planning and zoning hearing for rezoning on the estate of Nadine Stosich. Present is Commissioner John Walker and Commissioner Carl Casperson. Austin, you want to introduce your staff, Michelle? Or
Yep, Austin
Names on
Black,
the record.
zoning administrator, Michelle Hagan, planning and zoning supervisor, and Gwen Ronville, assistant, planning assistant. Can't keep it all straight.
Right. Thank you. Do you want to start or do you want?
The, notice.
Read the notes.
Read the
Yes.
notice.
Okay. Just read the
One on
notice
the right
really
page.
quickly. The notice of proposed rezone notice is hereby given that the following public hearing will be held by the Bonneville County Board of Commissioners in the Bonneville County Courthouse, 605 North Capitol Avenue, Idaho Falls, Idaho. Date of the hearing is today, Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Time of the hearing is 1:30 p.m. And the rezone request is Eagle Rock Engineering on behalf of the state of Nadine Stosich for a rezone from agricultural A1 to general commercial C2 and residence R2 zones. General location is located on the east side of North 45th East Crowley Road and the north side of Lincoln Road, south of the railroad, Bonneville County, Idaho. And this was posted in the, or published in the Post Register June 24th, 2025.
Thank you. If there's no objection, all of the records from the planning and zoning hearing, past correspondence on this case will be included in the record for this hearing. First, we'll hear from staff, and we'll turn it over to the applicants.
To talk up to. Just.
Okay.
It's hard.
I
to
figure
hear
if I'm on the subtitling, then it's heard me,
It's
so.
still hard to hear you,
Okay.
even when I'm sitting over here. Sorry. All right, so this is Michelle Hagan with Bonneville County Planning and Zoning. As was previously stated, the applicant is Eagle Rock Engineering on behalf of the Nadine Stosich Estate. The application was reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission on April 23rd, 2025, in which they continued the application. They held a second public hearing on May 28th, 2025, in which they recommended approval of the rezone request from A1 to R2 and a C1 zone. The City Council of Iona also met with applicant regarding the requested zones, because the property is located within the area of impact for that agreement. The hearing packet includes the finding of fact from the Planning and Zoning Commission, exhibits, received waiver from the City of Iona, staff reports and minutes, as well as any other documents that were part of the case file. So just recap, the property is approximately 35 acres, located on the east side of 45th East, north of Lincoln Road and south of the railroad. The land use designation is mixed use. The request is to rezone from the A1 to C2 and R2 zones. The adjacent properties are zoned A1, R-1.5, R2, and RA1. The comprehensive plan has compatibility decisions that should be considered in all map amendments. And these include looking at the compatibility to adjacent uses, as well as determining if the proposed change would create undue concentrations of uses for the area. It needs to be determined if this area is more appropriate to be designated to allow the split zoning of the C2 and R2 zones as requested. There are currently utilities within the county jurisdiction in this area. The Planning and Zoning Commissioners recommended approval with a unanimous vote of the application of the proposed rezone from A1 to the amended request to a C1 zone. The original application had C2 and then R2 zoning. And the conditions that were stated is one, the originally requested C2 zone not be approved but recommended the lesser commercial zone of C1. The applicant amended the request verbally in hearing to a C1 zone. R2, number 2 is the R2 zone be conditioned to allow single-family residences and no more than 30% of duplexes. All other housing types such as fourplex, triplex, boarding houses, or townhouses are prohibited. Number 3, landscaping along arterial buffers 45th and Lincoln Road are required. 4, comply with requirements from Public Works. 5, buffering requirements between the commercial and agricultural zones, which is to the east. The buffer shall comply with section 1-4255 of the ordinance, which they wanted that put into the condition. The minimum effective buffer shall be a 7-foot wide planting strip with trees and ground cover plus a masonry wall or opaque fence at least 4 feet in height, or a dense evergreen hedge that will attain a height of at least 4 feet, or B, a 6-foot site obscuring fence. Number 6, comply with Idaho code regarding canals and ditches and appropriate setbacks to allow for maintenance and design the subdivision to accommodate the water source. Number 7, a traffic study shall be conducted prior to submission of the subdivision plat. 8, area of impact exhibit B waiver of strict enforcement be acquired from the city of Iona regarding the specific zones that are being requested. That was received on May 28th, 2025, which has also resulted in the 30 per, some of those added conditions in the R2 zone and the request that C1 be included as well. And number 9, plating will be required. Are there any questions for staff?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, no questions, all right. All right. The applicant has to say.
Thank you, Sean Smith, Silver Fish Capital, developer for the group, partnered with Jace Howell on the project. And Caden's obviously representing us as engineering, so if there's any specific questions that come to engineering, I'm sure he can handle it, but I just wanted to quickly state and thank Michelle for her update. Oh, sorry, PO Box 703, Jackson, Wyoming. So one of the things that I just wanted to clarify on here is obviously conditions 1 and 2, the idea of going to C1 and then R2. We did meet with the city of Iona. We also heard from planning and zoning. We had no issues kind of moving from a C2 to a C1 based on the fact that there's not plans for manufacturing. That was kind of one of the concerns, and we have no issue with going to the C1. So we were happy to do that. And then on the R2 zone, we are requesting the R2 zone. Planning and zoning did support it. We do have a restriction of that 30% restricted to duplex units. And the idea behind that one was we're trying to buffer kind of the commercial and the residential zone with duplexes. The reason why we're sticking with that R2 is mainly for the being able to utilize a 2-story building instead of just a 1-story building on that. But we have no intention of doing, townhomes or multifamily or anything above kind of a duplex scenario. So that's kind of the reasoning for the scenario on that one. We have recorded some division deeds on the property, which basically delineates with lot lines between the commercial zone and the residential zone. And actually a traffic impact study has already been completed. It's been finalized, and Lance Bates has got a couple additional comments on it, but nothing of concern so far in the traffic impact study. But we did go ahead and take care of that in advance of any platting on the property, just to make sure there wasn't any big red flags. So that's kind of just a couple quick comments. Again, we had a really good process with the city of Iona. We had a good process with planning and zoning. We're thankful for all their comments, and we're happy to present this in front of you today.
Thank you. Okay, um. So that will open public input. Is there anyone here from the public that wishes to speak on this? Anybody online? But such things. You want to say anything? Okay. Back to you. You want to say anything else?
Nothing.
Or
Thank you very
this
much.
is really pretty odd, so it's okay.
Hopefully it's a good time.
Well, hopefully, but because of the process, yeah, go ahead.
Want to do it here?
No, you better come up here, it won't pick you up, apparently. Gotta speak loud so they can hear us in the hallway in the parking lot.
I didn't ask you to speak that.
I have an old volume, it only has 2 settings.
You want my
Crowd?
name and address and everything?
Yes, please.
Sean Branson, 4147 East Vision Drive. So is this property sold or is it still for sale?
It's under contract, waiting. to close.
You have to direct your testimony to the board, but
Yeah, you gotta ask me and then I ask them.
Okay,
So, okay,
Your Honor.
there you go. You haven't met my wife, have you?
Okay, so this is the only section right now we're addressing. We're not addressing
That's
the
correct.
rest of the property.
Just the 2 you see
And
bolded with.
the
R2 and
C2 and the R2 sections are those the only ones that are under contract?
Those are the only ones we're addressing in this hearing.
Okay, so the rest of it
The
is
ones we are
under contract.
addressing in this hearing.
Okay.
I don't know anything about the other
Okay,
parcels.
okay, I apologize for getting here late.
It's okay.
So R2 is just duplexes, single level duplexes, or we talking 2-story duplexes?
As was stated previously, that allows for 2-story duplexes. But those are duplexes, not apartments.
Okay,
it's limited to 30% of the R2 area.
Louder, Austin.
so no townhomes, no fourplexes, none of that.
That's
Correct.
It is coming as a recommended condition to limit. For 30% to allow for duplexes, the other housing styles are not. That was not recommended to allow those.
Okay, so we're talking we're single family residences and duplexes is that's all we're talking, is that correct?
Yes,
on the R2 side.
that is
Yes.
the
right.
proposed.
Okay, so the C2. What is the 2 versus a C1?
They recommended the C1, which is just a lighter commercial use that doesn't have as heavy of commercial use as a C2 does.
So essentially, uses that can locate in a C1 serve the surrounding neighborhood. Not, the ability to do like warehouses and rent out, those spaces. It limits that type of commercial use that you see or have allow for a heavy commercial use that you see in the R2 zones in the county.
You mean the C2 though?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Nice to hear from you.
Nice to see you, Your Honor.
Tongue in cheek there. Anything else from you or your posse?
I don't know if there's anything else to address on that, unless there's any clarifications that you guys need from the questions.
No, sounds like they dug into things really well in the planning and zoning hearings. Which is what they don't get paid for. You know, that's voluntary service, so you gotta appreciate the hours they put in.
It was a smooth process, honestly. It really was.
That's good to hear.
We had a little back and forth with City of Iona and the waiver, but we were able to fly through that as well and get everything to line. So we were grateful for the feedback and the staff.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the next step in the process brings us, but is there anything else from the planning and zoning staff?
We don't have anything else to add.
And if there's no other information that's to be brought forward, we'll take this under advisement and review stuff, in our process. Those of you that have been here before, us and Michelle will meet with commissioners in this case, Carl and I individually, but not collectively. We won't discuss it with each other, discuss it with them, and compile a finding of fact and schedule a meeting to present our finding of fact and issue the resolution on the hearing. That's usually in a week or two. In this case, is that consistent?
Yes, that is a consistent statement.
Okay. That
This
close the
time.
hearing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
So who's even about now?